It's episode 2 of Boys in the Basement. I'm Gabe. And we are not in a basement, but there's a basement inside our hearts. I'm one of the co-hosts. Our other co-host is not here today because he's giving sandwiches away in Detroit like a good human. And we're recording a podcast.
I feel horrible that I'm not in some place giving away sandwiches. You're like, I'm gonna bring an unholy person here to partner with me. So that's me, I guess.
Well, what's your name, sir?
My name's Tim, and I have the privilege of him being born as my nephew.
Yeah, he's my uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncle Tim. And
Uncle
I'm
Tim.
Dylan.
Hi,
Here
Dylan.
again.
Hey, Dylan.
Hey,
We just met for the second time today.
second time. Yep.
How did you first meet?
Nerf wars in middle school.
Yeah,
How long ago was that?
2015, I think.
Probably.
So like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, and you didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
can't-
So I walk in, they're like, hey, this is Dylan. I'm like, I introduce myself. I'm like, hey, I'm Tim. He's like, hey, I'm Dylan. He's like, yeah, I think we met already. I'm like, oh, we did? And Gabe's like, yeah, in middle school. It's like Nerf wars. I'm like, oh, so you expect me to remember a random middle school student from 10 years ago when I was a guest speaker at a youth event?
Yes.
Yeah.
You should have. I'm kind of offended,
So-
actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm also not out handing out sandwiches to people. So again, you got the unholy one.
Wow.
Yep. So Tim, Uncle Tim.
You can call me Tim.
Okay.
Oh no.
Well, I told you last minute to come up with a topic for today because I want to make the guests do the topic, not us do the topic. So
Yeah.
what is our topic for today? You can introduce it.
So you gave me less than 24 hours notice that I was going to be a guest on here.
Yep. As we do.
And so then I have to come up with a topic. And honestly, I thought, well, we talked through a few different things,
We did.
but it's today's a day of firsts,
It
right?
is. It is.
This is the first time that you've had a guest on your podcast.
Yep.
Sure
It's
is.
the first time you're doing video.
Sure is.
Yeah.
It's not the first time we met, but we talked about the first time we met. So what if we do a topic talking about first? Because I mean, sometimes, well, one, you never get a second chance to have a first impression.
True.
So I guess if you never see me on this podcast again, that tells you how I did on my first job or
Sure.
first time.
Yeah.
So no, firsts are important, right? There's a lot of like memorable things of
Mhm.
the things that you did first of. So maybe we can think through some questions of, asking each other, hey, what was the first, so here's an easy one. What was the first car that you bought with your own money?
Technically, it was half insurance money and my money.
Okay.
But it was
we'll let it go.
it was my Kia Rio 2023 Kia Rio.
Mhm.
That was the first car that I actually spent money on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. God did
Nice.
not want me to have the car before that. He destroyed it with a tree.
Yes.
And
You rained
he's
down in
like-
judgment.
Yeah, he rained down judgment and he rained down a flood and then had a tree the night after the flood hit my car, my Venza. And then
You were
I'm
pretty judged.
I was. It's like not as big as like Job losing all his family, but like he was like, you're not having that car. So that car got totaled, and then I took like how many months was it? It's like December, November, late November, early December when I found a Kia. And it wasn't from Summit Place Kia if you live in Michigan.
Oh.
Can you insert the music there?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
You should be driving a Kia.
From
Summit Place Kia. Summit Place Kia. Carry on.
But so I ended up with a blue 2023 Kia Rio. His name's Blue, like the bird from Rio.
Which I mean, Rio
Oh.
is Spanish for river, right?
Yeah.
And it's blue,
That's kind
Yeah.
of
like a river.
Mhm.
But
Because your car got taken by the river, metaphorically, in the
Oh,
flood.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's all one big
think about
metaphor.
Think about it.
Dylan, what was your first car?
The first one I bought was my grandma's Hyundai Sonata 2012.
And how'd that get taken away from you?
I was totaled in an accident a couple months ago, so it's cool.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I made money on the car, so I felt pretty good about it.
That's a win.
I did. And then I bought with that money plus some 2013 GMC Sierra.
Nice.
You had to play some detective
big,
work to clear your name with that.
Yeah.
car.
Funny story. I actually didn't do that
Well,
because I went to fight the judge, and they're like, "No, you can't
went
see
to
the
fight
judge."
the judge like you're gonna walk in there like fist fight him.
I was pretty
I'm
ready
sure
to,
that's what
I
he
was
meant.
pretty ready to fight the judge. And then
You're gonna throw hands.
I walk in the
That
courthouse.
would be a first. That's a first. That's the next question. When's the first time you've ever fought a judge?
I went to the courthouse for my date, and they're like, "No, you can't see the judge today. It's like you're pre-formal." And I was like, "No, like I want to get this done with." And they're like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, if I pay the ticket, is it like off my record?" And they're like, "Yeah, pretty much. It's not like showing it's your fault." And I was like, "Oh, screw it. I don't want to come back to this. I'll pay you $200 and be done with it."
Fair enough.
So
No points, not on your record.
yeah,
That's
like
weird.
the accidents on the record, but like no like points or anything.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
was like,
you don't
alright,
want
fine.
you don't want those points.
No,
Those points aren't good.
Gabe knows about points a lot.
Yeah, I knew. Why did you have to say that?
First, what was your first points, Gabe?
A speeding ticket. I'm not going to say how much, but
Okay,
All right.
don't speed, kids.
Don't speed. Puts points
Don't
in your
get
license,
caught
costs you
speeding.
money.
Technically, that didn't give me points, but that was first points was still speeding, but don't speed at all.
good.
It's not
lesson.
worth it.
Good lesson there.
Uncle Tim, how about your car?
First car that I actually bought,
Yes.
it was a 1983 Datsun Maxima. So this is pre-Nissan, right? So you've probably heard of Nissans.
Yes.
This was Datsun, which was before Nissan. That's how old it was. Is in, I think it was like 1997, I think is when I bought it. 1998, around that time frame. And it was a 1983. So it was almost as old as I was. It had like 200,000 miles on it. I paid $275 for it.
Dude,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
That's like my insurance.
Yeah. Yep. Now I know if you're watching the video, you're like, man, this guy looks way too young to be talking about things being so cheap and so old. But yeah, that's me. So yeah, it was, her name was Cindy. Cindy.
oh, I think I heard why.
You've heard of Cindy.
I have heard of Cindy.
Yeah. So Cindy is infamous amongst my friends because she had a voice warning system.
Ooh,
Which in
That sounds
1983,
fancy.
that's pretty
That's
high
pretty
tech.
fancy.
Yeah, it would tell me like if the door's ajar, if your seatbelt's not on, like it was a voice literally would come on like right door is ajar. And it was a lady's voice, so we called her Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd tell us if the parking brake was on or things like that. So I'd be driving, my friends being intrigued by this, woman that talked to you would randomly open their door while I'm driving down the road, pull up on the parking brake while I'm driving so that they could hear us taking off their seatbelt. So basically it's a warning system. And in order to hear her voice, you had to do something dangerous. And so
Pause
that,
for a warning. Yeah.
yeah, so that's the type of friends I had.
What was that David Hasselhoff show? Where,
Oh, yeah.
Rider?
Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Kit.
Yep.
Yeah, is very much like that, except for it was a
Not as
sedan.
cool.
It was way cooler. I
Oh.
mean, look it up right now. Go ahead and Google image of 1983 Datsun Maxima, and you will be like, man, he was riding in style.
I got it here, Gabe.
Okay, let's see.
Ooh. I can't turn it super far.
It's like the quintessential, like if you ask a kid to draw a car, where
Yeah,
it's like this
that's-
up box,
Oh, really?
roof over, trunk down,
What?
wheels.
What color did you have here?
It was a gray,
Like
it's a
that?
good old classic gray. Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Right there.
It had fenders that were rusted through, so I had like screws from like vents,
Yeah.
like zip screws. I had duct tape holding it together. It was pretty stellar.
That's just your typical beater.
yeah,
have you
it
seen the
was.
car seats that have like little like bandage sticker on them?
Yeah.
You have those on it?
I did not.
They're just covered in band-aids.
Yeah, it deserved that though. Yeah, it was rusty.
Did
Hey,
you run it to the ground?
it kind of the engine ended up dying on it. And so, but it
How many
had
miles?
I mean, it was well over 200,000.
Impressive.
Yep, it was a good car, Cindy.
Sounds like a wonderful car.
Yeah.
What other firsts do you have?
Well, we talked about the first time that I met you as a middle schooler.
Yes.
And apparently at that event, I shot some kid in an eye.
Yeah.
In the eye. You can
Remember
tell
who
me
it was,
that.
Gabe?
No, I don't. I
Oh.
just remember because my mom was a leader as well. And so, she was a leader. And I just remember her going downstairs. And she told me this afterwards. She went downstairs and there's Tim and a kid crying with his hand over his eye. And Tim's just standing there like all guilty looking. And my mom's like, did you just shoot him in the eye? And he's like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then the kid like got to go upstairs, and I don't even know. But
I mean, in all fairness, the lighting wasn't great. It was,
it's
it's Dart Wars, and
it's a dark basement.
Let's face it, you shoot somebody in the eye, it's a kill shot. So,
It
It is. Most points possible.
You take him out of the game.
I'm not sure if I was really. I mean, I should have been congratulated.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
Appreciate that.
You wounded a child.
So how was when did you guys first meet then?
We did bring this up last time.
Oh, did you? I'm
does
sorry.
love this story.
It is. We can share it again. I just
Go for it.
You don't know, but he was what? You were 6th grade. I was 7th grade.
Yep.
First night he was in youth group at Torrid. I walked over, and I'm pretty sure I just punched him in the stomach. I just punched him in the stomach.
Yeah.
And then said, "You want to go play dodgeball?"
Oh, yeah, that's a nice invite.
Well, and our version of dodgeball wasn't. Let me explain. So last time when we talked about this, our version of dodgeball wasn't like, it was more like a keep away. So we had a foam ball that we would throw at each other and then like keep it away from people. And we got like so our youth group area was just like upstairs, big room upstairs,
vaulted ceilings and everything.
yeah, with a bunch of like chairs around. And so like we would, as boys, just like run and jump over the chairs and run through the upstairs area with the dodgeball. And so like, and we would like try to get it from each other. And like occasionally we would go into other parts of the church with it. But that's like what we did.
Okay.
And so that was like to start before we officially went into youth group and did like.
So like
games
going
and
up to
stuff.
punch him in the stomach, where was your thought like, can he dodge this or not? And if
No.
he couldn't dodge it, you wanted him to play so he could be on the other team?
No, like my thought was like
Was there a thought behind
there
it?
was no thought. It was this
I
guy.
feel like
I just saw this guy and I'm like, he looks, I don't know if I thought like, he looks like he could be my friend, and then just went over and
a willing victim.
yeah, I don't know.
And that's how you treat your friends.
Well, back 7th grade Gabe. Yeah, I guess that's how I treated my friends. Because
Okay.
I used to punch him all the time.
Yeah, it was like a weekly thing then.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was like a hey, punch.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so
I'd
like,
slap him back.
did you like go home and your parents were like, "Hey, how was youth group tonight?" I'm like, I got punched in the stomach, and then like every week, "Hey, how was youth group tonight?" Oh, I got punched again. Like no,
Never came up.
but
You're just okay
it
with
was
him
a
coming
run,
up and punching you.
it was just a running thing between us where where I hit him. He didn't hit back.
Only once or twice I got like actually mad, I would hit back, but besides
Yeah.
that, no.
And then like we became good friends after that.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
like the weirdest
Somehow it
origin
worked.
story. Yeah.
Okay, so
I wouldn't
if you
like-
don't, oh, go ahead.
I wouldn't like recommend it to kids these days to like make friends that way, but it works
worked
somehow for us.
For us, yeah.
Yeah.
So that I was going to say, so is that the lesson that somebody's supposed to learn from this today? Is
No,
like, hey, if you want to
please
make
don't.
friends,
No.
go punch people.
No, I don't know in 2025 if
no.
that will fly. Like
Okay.
back in
Back in my day,
well, yeah, which was like 2015, like something
Probably,
like that,
yeah.
14, 15, it worked because
Yeah.
people weren't pansies, I guess.
okay.
Yeah.
Don't
All right.
try that.
Don't try
Don't
that.
don't go punch
Don't.
people.
No.
Unless it's Gabe. Apparently
mean-
that works with him. So if you want to be
Yes.
Gabe's friend,
Yeah.
You can punch me.
then you
I'll
can.
probably be, I'll be like,
the way
oh,
you tell Gabe I want to be your friend is by punching him in the stomach.
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I
So
just
as you
always-
become famous, and there's going to be thousands and millions of people watching
Lining up
this,
to punch me.
and then when they meet you for the first time, they're just going to punch you.
I
Yes.
mean, Steve-O, you know Steve-O?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he puts like hot sauce in his eye. Like he has his thing. I guess my thing can be people punching me.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
That works.
All right. Here's another first.
Okay.
What was your first job?
Oh, mine. I don't know. Like, I would say my first real job. So, like, I had odds and ends jobs. Like, I used to take files for my grandma. She works at the U of M, and I used to take files and scan them and put them into the computer system. But like, that was really lax. It wasn't. I wouldn't
Are
say.
you allowed to disclose that? Just I'm wondering, were these like private, like medical documents that
Well,
you
I'm
shouldn't
not-
have seen?
I didn't read any of them. I just took staples out and put it through a scanner.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if you just incriminated your grandma. That's all.
No,
Okay. Good.
Were you paid by grandma or were you paid by you?
I was paid by U of M.
Okay. So
Oh,
it was,
so it was on
legit.
the up and
It was
up.
legit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was legit.
Okay. Phew.
Um,
I thought my mom was going to be going to prison
No.
after this. What's your first time you went to prison? Mom.
He's doing half of her job and she's sitting at home
No.
like, yeah, my kid's doing that. Nice.
No, I was paid by the U of M. But no, I would say my first real job was I worked at a a place called English Gardens. And I
Sounds pleasant.
lifted plants and sold annuals to people. And at Christmas time, Christmas trees.
Yes. You sold me a pot one time.
I did sell you a pot.
A pot.
A pot.
A pot.
And then he gave me a picture of himself to put in it.
Yes.
Aw.
I never put a plant in it. It was just a picture of Gabe in
Yeah.
a pot.
And now you haven't even put the picture in the pot. The picture's just on your
No,
on
the
your,
picture's in a frame right now.
Yeah.
I got a frame right now in it. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, wasn't it me and my crack hoe?
It was you and your hoe. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's this this tool that I made. Let me explain this tool that I made. That had, it was
Yes, please tell me about this pot and hoe.
So I had this hoe that it was this it had 2 prongs on one end and then like a flat end on the other.
Yeah.
So I needed to get the grass out of the crack in our driveway because you have crabgrass grow up, and so I bent one of the things. And I'm scraping out, and I'm like, "This is my crack hoe," and I'm scraping out the
Wow. What's this podcast rated? I'm just kind of curious.
PG-13.
I have it listed as okay for kids, and I might have to change that right now. When I post this one, I'll be like, "This is not safe for kids."
Can you cut that part out? What's the first time you actually edited the podcast?
I've done a little bit.
But no, so I had this hoe that I used to get grass out.
the garden tool.
Yeah,
Yeah, to
Yes,
get the
of
grass
course.
out. Yes. That's good. So you talked about English gardens. You're like picking up heavy things.
Yeah.
Is that how you got the guns that you have out with your tank top right now?
Yes.
Let's see those guns.
Or
Yeah. So kids want to be buff like that. Work at English gardens.
yes, or any nursery in your local vicinity.
And by nursery, you're not talking about like old folks home.
No, not old folks.
It would probably also work though.
Yeah.
I mean,
For being right.
you do have to lift them in and out of bed sometimes. But
Exactly.
All right.
I'm talking the kind where you work with plants,
Okay.
flower nursery, tree nursery.
Okay.
Yeah, moving those arborvitaes.
All right. That sounds like a good first job.
Yeah.
I can't find the picture anymore.
What about you, Dylan? What was your first job?
I did like odds and ends jobs at the church doing like maintenance stuff on the grounds. My first real job was at Kroger.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the dark ages for us because we weren't hanging out much.
No.
Because I didn't even know you worked at Kroger.
No, it was like the summer of COVID. Like COVID hit in like March, and then that summer I worked at Kroger through the fall. It was like 4 months. It was pretty bad.
K. Roger.
But I did like the e-commerce pickup and stuff, order online.
Okay.
It was really boring.
Sounds
But-
like it.
Fun story from that. Whenever I was out on the shop floor, picking stuff and putting it in the baskets forever to take it out.
Yeah.
People would be like, "Hey, where's this thing at?" And I'd be like, "Oh, aisle 13." And I didn't know where anything was. And so I would just send them right now. I was like, "Yeah, it's that way. Say 20." And they would just go walk that way. And I'd be like, "Don't find me again, please." Because I don't know where that is at all. I know it's probably that way.
This old lady's looking for toothbrush in the produce aisle. She's like, I can't find my dang toothbrush.
It happened every day.
And the Yelp review just keeps going down and down. And the manager at the store is like, why are we getting so many bad Yelp reviews?
Okay, I worked there for maybe 6 months at most. And when you do the thing, you have this little tablet and it says aisle 13, section this, shelf this. I didn't memorize where anything was. And so I just would follow my thing and they'd be like, "Where is this?" And I'd be like, "Go over there." I don't know. Good luck.
You just look up and you're like,
And then I would
That way.
I would finish picking my stuff as fast as possible so that I get off the floor and
You
get out of it.
go over to the toilet paper aisle and hide behind the toilet paper.
Yeah.
he
Pretty much.
just pulls the toilet paper apart to look through and closes it.
It's a coast clear.
Okay, they're gone. Okay.
And he's rolling through the aisles on his hands and knees.
Nice.
How about you? What was your first job?
It's a tough question, kind of similar to you doing odds and ends. My dad was a contractor growing up, so
I
there's
worked
things
with
I
him
do.
too.
Yeah, so I do some cleaning on the job site.
Hey,
for
we
him.
worked together with Grandpa at one point.
We have, yeah.
Remember that time he dropped his flashlight in a wall?
I mean,
We were crunched on time, and he's
That probably
looking in
happened a
this
lot.
it was this stair
uh-huh.
drywall underneath a staircase, and he was looking and he dropped the flashlight, and I think you had to go on the other end of the stairs to cut a hole
in it
to
and pull it
have
out.
the flashlight drop out. And
Sounds-
he doesn't
sounds
just buy your cheap flashlight.
Oh,
He
no.
buys your bougie.
Yeah.
His flashlights are rechargeable.
rechargeable. They're high intensity, several levels,
Yeah.
strobe light, warning lights. I mean, it is.
Oh my.
It probably has GPS in it.
Oh, dude, he
To be
could
honest,
probably
yeah.
like Bluetooth. Could
Yeah, I think it
like,
does.
It probably could be a Wi-Fi router.
Yeah. And when you ask him about his flashlight, he will tell you all the features of it and how
Yes.
significant it
He
is.
can brush his
So,
teeth with it.
Probably. Yeah. That's how bright the light is.
Oh,
He just,
I mean,
he
it
just
gets,
smiles.
That's
and-
impressive.
that light though does get warm. I remember when we were at a U of M game, it was freezing cold out, and my gloves got wet. And he's like, "Here, put your hand on my flashlight."
So hand warmer.
And it literally warmed my hands. I'm like, this is the best time to use this
Wow.
flashlight.
Well, there you go. First time for everything.
Yeah.
So first job. So I did that. I had a paper route, but I don't know if that really counts. So
For
probably the
those
one that I go to.
youngins, what's a paper route?
So back in the day,
I know what you're talking about.
there used to be these papers that would show up at your doorstep by the magical fairies. And that was me.
You're a fairy?
Yep.
Magical?
Yep.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
Tinkerbell?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
that explains a lot.
Yep.
it does.
Wow.
It's about time you guys learned the truth.
That
Um,
explains the sparkles every time I see him.
Yep. Exactly. Why I can fly.
Yeah.
So I had a job. It was actually at a barber shop where I would get my haircut as a kid. My dad got his haircut and
The hair spot?
the hair spot. Yep.
I didn't
So,
know you worked there.
I worked at the hair spot in Ann
Wow.
Arbor.
That's where I got
And-
my haircut for years.
Yeah,
I love
was
that place.
I was a janitor essentially. So Thursday afternoons or evenings after they closed, I would go and sweep and clean, and then Saturday after they closed, I would go through and do like a deep clean of everything. So
Oh, I never knew that.
yep. So
You
long time
swooped
ago,
up all the hairs.
I swept up all the hairs.
That's kind of gross.
Probably
It-
a lot of your hairs too, Gabe.
Yeah, he wasn't born at that point.
Oh.
No.
I think I was. I don't know.
You were
I
in
was-
your 20s.
No, I was like a teenager.
No,
like
when I
13.
was born.
Oh yes, yeah. That is true too.
Yeah. I remember my first memory involves Uncle Tim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
what's your first memory?
pretty,
If we're talking about
significant.
first, what's your
Yeah,
first
this is
memory?
That's
great
pretty
segue.
significant.
So I think I was like 3, maybe 2. I don't know. But we built this fort out of chairs and pillow cushions. We put blankets over it.
It sounds like you had a cool uncle.
Yeah. And so you were in it and I was trying to crawl away. I was trying to get out.
I
He
had
grabs me by the leg and pulls me back in, and I'm shirtless, mind you. And so I get these gnarly rug burns on my chest,
Oh, nice.
and I'm crying. Uncle Tim's dragging me back in the fort. He's pulling me by the leg back in the fort. And then I come out, and my mom takes me, and then she gives me Benadryl to knock me out so I don't think about the thing. And so then I just remember being like half asleep in the corner of that sectional. You remember that green and
Uh-huh.
red sectional?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like,
Vividly.
I was knocked out in the corner of that.
With the rug burns.
Yeah, with the red
Nice.
burns.
No, I'm aware of the story because he never lets me forget it.
Yeah, because it's it's the first memory that I can remember.
And let's clarify, it's not like you were bleeding.
No.
It was,
I had just these red marks on my.
and it went away. It wasn't permanent. It is.
but it lasted. It wasn't like it wouldn't just go away. Like it was there.
for like an hour.
An hour is a significant amount of time.
You know what? Rub a little dirt on it.
And that's how you get infected, kids.
No, that's proven over time. Dirt doesn't affect you.
Oh, don't take medical advice from Dylan.
No, please don't.
Oh, so that's your first memory. Yeah.
Yeah. What
No,
about you?
no.
What's your first memory, Uncle Tim?
First memory. Oh, I was like swimming in this pool, and all of a sudden it was real dark. I just remember being really dark, and all of a sudden there was like this light, and all of a sudden like this hand came in, like grabbed me and pulled me from the dark
Oh
into
my
the
gosh.
light.
Oh my gosh.
And like there's this giant person wearing a mask. And all of a sudden he like smacks me on the butt. I'm like, what is going on? And I was like all pleasant and warm. And the next thing I know, I'm cold and frigid. I have this giant who hit me in the butt, and I'm crying, and you know, my mom comforts me. And that's my first memory.
being born.
Thanks for filling in the gap for everybody who did not get where that story was going. I don't remember my first memory. Like
There's nothing that comes to mind.
There's nothing that comes to mind like a significant like first memory. I mean, I have memories of when I was younger, but I don't know, sit there and be like, oh, this is the one. I didn't have an uncle that tortured me.
Well, I was just trying to rack my
like some
brain
people.
for like, what is the earliest thing I remember? And I think that's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. Mine would probably go towards like preschool. Like the class I was in, I remember the teacher, I remember like the nap time and friends and things like that.
Nothing like significant though.
But nothing. I mean, I remember like my best friends, Chris and Lindsay, they're like my best friends from when I first remember to, like 6, 7 years old. So
I remember preschool.
Yeah.
I used to take all my clothes off and cover myself in finger paint and pretend to be a dinosaur.
That's a pretty good day.
Yeah, my mom took me out of that preschool and put me in another one because she's like, why are they letting you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm entertained.
Yeah. All right.
Dylan, what's your first memory?
I have no idea.
You have nothing that comes to mind. Like,
Did you have an abusive uncle that
No.
dragged you and gave you
No.
rug burns?
That's probably why. Nothing significant at all.
nothing that Philip ever did to you? Which that's his brother.
I remember like stuff we did, but like not like an early thing. I don't have a clue what happened before like 6th grade.
Really?
My
Dude,
memory's
what
so
did you
bad.
do? What have you
I don't
done?
know. I have like no memory. It's really bad.
That you should see a doctor.
You know what? That punch in his stomach might have did more than what you think. Like he had no memories. You woke him up. Like he
Whoa.
needed that punch.
Well, maybe I kickstarted your brain.
I think he erased everything before that.
Oh,
So I punched his memory
That'd
out
be
of
nice,
him.
though.
Thanks for trying to give me the benefit of the doubt.
I tried.
Apparently, I made
Dylan's like, nope.
apparently I made Dylan forget everything up until 6th grade.
So your first memory you're saying is Gabe punching you in the stomach.
Probably
Okay.
I can
I
see
don't know.
that.
just random things, but nothing like significant. I can think of like as a first.
Fair enough.
Not a clue.
All right. First, broken bone or emergency room trip. Let's get some fun stories.
Emergency.
Yeah. ER trip or broken bone or what's
I have none.
I've never broken a
I have
bone.
no broken bones.
no broken bones. Wow.
I've
no
had some-
ER trips.
Oh, I've had ER trips.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like notable. I mean, I stepped on a nail once.
Tetanus shot.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like a good ER visit of mine. Oh, I share this with everybody, but I had to get EpiPen once. And so I went to Target with my mom. I can't remember if this was after youth group one night, but we went to Target and I bought these. What is Target's like own brand, like Good and Gather or something?
Yeah.
Market Pantry.
Oh.
I bought their own tacos, like mini frozen tacos, because
Tacos are tacos.
tacos are tacos, right?
Yeah.
So I have an egg allergy, and it's not just like I don't eat eggs. It's like I eat egg. Like if I eat eggs, I
You die.
I could die. Yeah. So I got these mini tacos. Get home, I'm excited to eat them.
Mhm.
I pop them in the microwave. I pull them out. I start eating them. And then I'm like, Mom, these tacos taste funky. And we look at the box. They had egg whites. Who puts egg whites in a mini taco?
Yeah, like what
Number one,
Was it a breakfast taco?
no,
Okay.
it was
Yeah, it shouldn't have eggs in it.
ground beef and cheese taco, and it was like a corn shell. I don't know if they brushed them with the egg whites, but there were egg whites in them. I remember that specifically. So we go to the emergency room. I'm up there, and this is U of M's emergency room. So if you go to U of M's emergency room, they have to give you EpiPen. So I'm like waiting. They're putting the IV in. They're putting the Benadryl, the good Benadryl, like they kind of get high on Benadryl. And then the lady comes in. She's like, I have to give you Epi. And she like pulls out the blue tab and she's like, this is going to hurt. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know what to expect. Like I've gotten shots before.
Uh-huh.
I think we all have gotten shots before and they just prick and you're done. Right.
Yeah.
She goes like above, like she's crouching down and she's above her head and she goes, boom, into my leg, like hits me with her fist plus a needle.
Was her arm like you see like in the painting of like what's his face and his son in the Bible? With like his hand above his head. And then
Abraham.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like above the head, she's like, I'm coming in for you.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like?
That's what it was like. And so she hits me and I have the needle and a fist to the leg.
Yeah.
And like this nurse just full on punched me in the thigh it's like, I'm like I'm thinking like Wolverine claw. Like, you know how he punches people with the Wolverine claw? It's probably like that, but like epi, like I got, and then I'm like, woo, adrenaline. And I'm like just sitting there. Like, I don't even remember after. I just remember like her hitting me trying to find YouTube videos to watch while I sit there. and then I end up going home. It was like, I don't remember what time it was. It was late.
Yeah.
But I ended up going home and I'm like, Mom, can we stop at Taco Bell?
You still wanted the taco.
Yeah, I still wanted the tacos. So I think we drove by Taco Bell.
That sounds accurate.
But then I had this nice bruise on my leg from where she hit me and the needle.
Well, have you ever gone through like first aid training? Because that's what they teach you. Like with the EpiPen, the way that the device is in order to get it to work.
Well,
So
yeah,
it's not
you have to
hit it with extreme force where it probably will leave a bruise. So
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way to do it.
But it's like,
and all the technology that we have in the
There's got to
world.
be a better way. And the nurses are like, no, we like it this way better.
we want to hurt our patients.
This is way more fun. Trust me.
But like, I knew they had to hit me. Like, I knew they had to like hit it, like do it hard.
Yeah.
But you don't know what it feels like until you actually have to get it. It's not just like
Yeah.
It's like full on like punch. It's not like a hit your leg.
It is a
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It makes for an entertaining story though.
It does.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. What about you? Broken bones? Well, I know you've hurt yourself a lot.
Hurt's a relative term. I mean,
It kind of runs in the right family of us getting hurt.
So broken bone, I've never like broken an arm or anything. I've dislocated a finger in football. I think the technical, like actual bone breaking it's a maxilla, which is your cheekbone here.
You broke your cheek.
Yeah, I was playing softball, so old man baseball, or
female baseball.
I was clarifying what I was playing though. I was playing the old man version.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm sitting there playing, and there was a hit out into the left field. I was a pitcher, and our third baseman left his base to go get the ball, even though it was past where he could get. And so then he left third base open, and the runners come in. There's a runner on first with the hit. So he's rounding second, base is open. So as a pitcher, I go over to cover third. Outfielder picks up the ball and decides to throw it to me. And the guy just with a cannon of an arm is throwing it, and his online is perfect. However, the third baseman who left his post ended up thinking the ball was coming to him.
Oh no.
So he jumped up really high in the air to catch it with his glove, which then proceeded to block where the ball was coming in my line of sight, but he mistimed it. And so he's like, I don't know, 10 feet, 15 feet in front of me, mistimed it. So I lost visual of the ball because of him jumping up in the air. And then as he came down, the ball all of a sudden appeared right where his glove was. And basically 10 feet away, ball traveling at 60, 70 miles an hour. All of a sudden, boom. And so I did not have any time. Like I had my glove like ready, but I couldn't see where the ball was at. And it just came in and just smacked me right in the face. Dropped to the ground. Everybody's like running over. I'm holding my face thinking like, did it hit my eyes? My eye going to be all blown out? All I saw was black because I was covering my whole face. And, but yeah, it ended up having to go get CT scans that left stitch marks, from the softball in my face. And
old man baseball can get aggressive.
Yeah. So ended up gave me a black eye. That's, I think, my first black eye ever as well. And had, it broke my cheekbone right there. So that's the first, I guess, technically broken bone. I don't know if that counts or not.
Yeah.
And then first ER visit, the one that I remember, because I don't remember any before this, so you can ask my parents, maybe I'm wrong, but I just graduated high school. We were going on a mission trip to Jamaica that summer. And before we were leaving, we had like a team get together at somebody's house where they had like a boat and jet skis and is out on lake. And so it was the first time I've ever ridden a jet ski. like 17 years old. And me and one of my friends were going out on the jet skis. We're going all over and getting pretty good at it, doing tricks and, doing spins and learning how to cut it and go under the water.
This is not going to end well.
And shooting up in the air and all this fun stuff. And so I'm, cocky 17-year-old thinking I'm all that. Again, still first time ever on the jet ski.
Were there females in attendance and watching?
Of course. Okay. I mean,
so were you showing off?
Now, I don't know if they could really see what was going on. We were out in the lake, so I don't think that was necessarily it as much as my friend and I were just kind of going around.
Who was this friend? Do I know this friend?
His name is Mark Hovermell.
Yeah, I know this guy. Yeah.
So you do know? Yeah. I've heard stories.
I've met Mark.
Okay. Yeah. So Captain Javi, one of my good friends. I love that guy. And so anyway, we're doing these jet skis and I'm going full throttle and decide to try to cut it and, drop it under the water and shoot it up. And so I do a hard cut and it starts like skipping. And because of the waves that we've created, it starts going sideways and skipping over the top. And then all of a sudden it hit a wave, which jarred me and it threw me off. Mm-hmm. But then because it threw me off, it also then lightened up and shot off the wave, and the jet ski literally came down and landed right on top of my head.
Nice.
Oh gosh.
And so you can ask Mark, right, if he remembers, I don't know. But he witnessed it. He said that thing shot like 10 feet up in the air off the wave and had a whole jet ski come down. So here's the thing is,
did you get a concussion?
I don't know. Because I'm like, man, that hurt. And
concussions are a weird thing.
Yeah. So Mark comes over and he's like, dude, are you okay? I'm like, man, that was crazy. That hurt. He's like, but you're all right. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm fine.
Did you know what day it was?
Yeah, I do. It was a Saturday. And
he still knows. So he clearly did not get a concussion.
So anyway, I jump back on the jet ski and we keep riding around for like 5 or 10 minutes. And then finally they wave us in. I'm like, hey guys, come in. So we come in. And I park it. And as I'm getting off, I'm like, man, my head hurts a little.
Oh,
go figure. So I reach up and go like that and just kind of rub my head and pull it down. And my hand is just covered in blood. And so I go up to the youth pastor. I'm like, don't want to freak you out or worry you or anything, but I think I have a problem. He's like, what's going on? I show him my hand. And he's like, so then it takes me in the house and we start running water over, trying to clean it out. And he drives me off to the closest we're out in the country. I forget where we're at. And takes me to the closest like ER urgent care or whatever and get a few stitches. And I had a gash probably about that big. It was a couple inches on the back of my head.
Concussions are a funny thing because either you you get one or you have no clue, but you feel like you should have gotten one.
Yeah.
Like I've had several times where I've hit my head and I'm like, do I have a concussion? I'm like, every sign points to no. And I'm like, okay, but I feel like I should have gotten one though.
Yeah.
So like you with that, I would be like thinking to myself, I'm like, did I get concussed?
I don't think, I don't know how much concussions were really talked about back then. I'm not going to lie,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If I got one, it wasn't like anything that was major of concern. When it hit, I would say I probably blacked out. I remember seeing stars for that quick moment, but I mean, I was in water and I came right to. I remember coming. I remember it hitting me. I remember coming up out of the water. I remember climbing on. I mean, so yeah, it sounds like I should have had concussion, but I did not have any symptoms of the concussion. I didn't get sick. I didn't.
How close to the water were you when it came? Or were you stand like?
I was coming up out of the water.
You're coming out of the water.
So I was my head. So I got thrown.
Okay.
My life vest was holding me up out. So I was sitting there. So it was kind of as I went under the water, as I came up and surfaced, it landed right on top of my head.
Clean hit your head?
Yes.
Okay.
So literally I can say I've ran myself over with a jet ski.
That's a cool thing to say.
It's impressive. That's hard.
That's like, put that on your resume.
That's right. That'll take you places.
It will.
Oh, I got tons of stupid stories like that I could probably.
So we're going to move on from first because that was a great.
It was a good topic.
It was a great topic. Yeah. Because it came up with a lot of good stories. So you were a youth pastor for a while.
Yeah.
And you were a student for a while as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And I just know that you have some really ridiculous stories from those times.
From when I was a youth pastor?
Yeah. You probably have some as students, some as a youth pastor, but you just have some out there stories. Do you want to share? Like,
Well, I just shared one when I was a student,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So that was as a student.
you want to share like
Um,
two good, your best,
To my best youth pastor stories.
or like some of your memorable ones.
All right. I mean, I've shared some of the stories. Is there one in particular you're looking for that you'd like me to share?
No, you can just share whatever comes to your mind that you think is just a banger of a story.
All right. And I'm not trying to delay this. I'm trying to find the right story for you. When
Yeah.
you say, banger of a story, are you looking for shock? Are you looking for humor? Are you looking for, I can't believe that happened? What do you, because we got a library here, so I'm trying to narrow it down.
We'll just you sift through your
filters on?
library and you give us like two good ones.
Like you'd sort by featured.
Okay. All right. So one that stands out of, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened and is scarred in my memory.
like
so this
branded.
is branded like this is a tragic, story. It's just like one of those things, like one of those lessons learned type of scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay. So is at summer camp, is working at Calvary at the time. And am I allowed to say
You
stuff
can
like
say
that?
that, yeah.
Okay. All right. I
There's
just
no rules.
trying to think. I mean,
rules.
I think
We have literally
we're
no
past the
rules.
statute of limitations. So no, I'm kidding. So we're at summer camp Velocity. For those long timers that, might remember that. We rented out a college down in Indiana, and called Taylor University. I think that's where we're at this year. And so we had guys dorms, girls dorms, and one of the feature events every year was called the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Still
And
is.
still is.
Still
Okay.
is.
Still is.
We have fond memories of
Okay.
that.
So Battle of Helm's Deep. This is one of the earlier years of its, coming together. And so here they provided us with golf carts to be able to drive around. So we had two golf carts that we were able to use. So as a leader, we were able to, like when setting up games and activities or moving stuff from building to building, we had those to move around. So Battle of Helm's Deep, for those that don't know and you're listening, Battle of Helm's Deep essentially was born out of the movie Lord of the Rings, when there is the running down of the hill.
Isn't that when Gandalf the White shows up?
Shows up in the morning and he's charging down to save those that are stuck there in Helm's Deep. So the first iteration of this was on a hill where you had half the camp at the top of the hill, half the camp at the bottom of the hill.
We didn't do that. That sounds
And so this is how
Really
I think this is how it
entertaining.
got its name initially
Yeah.
at the start, is because it was top of the hill, bottom of the hill.
Uh-huh.
And it's like capture the flag, but you're armed with flower bombs, you're armed with water balloons, pool noodles, things like that. Those are the
flour
weapons.
bomb is pantyhose filled with baking flour.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And so those were, each team had those, and is essentially capture the flag, and those were your weapons, and had to overtake the other one. So that was the first iteration. So now here we are. This is now taking over the whole college campus with different teams and things like that. So it's basically the largest water balloon fight, flower bomb, fight that happens.
You did it across the whole campus?
On this one, yeah. So this one, we're taking over the whole campus.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
And then in this, so myself and there's some counselors from other churches too. There's about 6 of us total that were kind of on the golf carts driving around looking and things like that. And we decided to take it to the next level. So we decided to split up and have our own battle on the side. And so it was 3 and 3 in the one end, 3 for one golf cart, 3 in the other golf cart. And we had water balloon launchers. And so we then proceeded to drive around campus launching water balloons, right? I think that's fun. There's one time I remember, like, we're launching, shooting at people, and this kid ran and jumped in front of one. And it was like a beeline low shot, took it square in the chest, and he dropped. And we were like, oh shoot, what did we just do? Did we kill this kid?
Did his heart stop?
He ended up being fine. Nope, he ended up being fine. He had a huge red mark. It probably lasted longer
gosh.
than your rug burns. And
Hey, don't belittle my rug burns. I was
I
a
think you
toddler,
did.
okay?
So anyway, and so we're like, okay, we can't shoot at any of the campers anymore. Right. So it was like, okay, but we'll shoot at each other. So now we were then driving and we would stop the golf cart, grab some water balloons and launch it at the other golf cart. So it was basically 3 adults on 3 adults. Because apparently that we thought that absolved us of
way better
legal issues. Yeah. We're consenting adults at that point. And so now we're launching it and going back and forth. And the team the guys that were with me, one of them, his name was Matt, big guy, tough guy, football player. And I'm forgetting who was the person who was pulling it back. And then we're shooting them back and forth. Well, with this, when you have water balloons being launched, they're coming at high velocity. Mm-hmm. You got to have your head on a swivel and be ready at all times to dodge these and things that. So we're going back and forth. Well, we're reloading and looking back at the person who's putting in the pouch to pull it back and launch at the other one. Just as he's doing that, I look up over at the other one and I see a water balloon flying right at us. and I'm like, no. And I literally watch it. So, as far as like I am from, we're apart, it's about 6-8 feet apart from each other. The people holding, I was one holder, he was the other holder. I look and I see this water balloon hit him square in the face. And this dude, again, big football dude, drops and is screaming. Like, this is like, I know you guys are like this is like one of those like awkward, do I laugh or not? And like, that's why I said this is like one of those scarring memories I was like, I can't laugh at, but it's like one of those things like, no way this happened. So he drops and he's, at first I'm thinking he's like acting, type thing. And I look and then he starts like he's holding his face, kind of like what I was saying about when I got hit in softball, but all of a sudden you start seeing blood pouring out between his knuckles. I'm like, what in the world? We had Nurse Jane, came and started looking at him, patching and packing and takes him off. Detached retina. I mean, like,
oh my gosh,
losing eye type of scenario. And so, last I saw her, I think he ended up being okay. I think they were able to save the eye, but it was one of those things that like sticks with, like, that is an image I cannot get out of my head and think what. So then as a youth pastor in all my years, never use water balloon launchers again. Anytime, if you're like, hey, let's do water balloons. It was, and people were like, why not? They're fun and things like that. I'm like, no, not fun. Water balloon launchers are not fun.
I've seen things.
They can kill you, type thing. And it was. And so I think that like for the rest of my youth pastor, or actually ministry career, like even then as like an XP and things like that, people are like, oh, water balloon launcher. I'm like, no, water balloon launcher.
Every time Uncle Tim sees a water balloon launcher, he has Vietnam flashbacks.
So Matt, if somehow you hear this, I hope you're doing well. That was a horrible experience. I can't imagine what you went through or the pain, but that is one of those that
he like curls in a ball in a corner when he sees water balloon launchers. Like he walks into Walmart, and if they have water balloon launchers on display, he would just turn around and walk back out.
I actually have scissors that I just go and I cut all the rubber bands on them. These
are not safe. Cut.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Scarred memory. So there, I don't know if that's what you're looking for. That's a banger of a story, I guess.
He did get banged with a water balloon in the face.
It was. Yeah. So that's a tragic, horrible one. Something maybe a little bit lighter. This one I shared with you the other day. As a youth pastor, I was just hired. So I was hired in September at a winter retreat. We're going to a camp, for a winter retreat. They'd already had it planned before I got there. So I'm just kind of coming and, getting to know the kids. I mean, we're talking like 3 months later. So I'm just getting to know everybody, the parents,
You're
things
fresh
like that.
Meat.
Exactly. So I didn't know everything that was going on or planned or so forth. And so all of a sudden one night, like I hear some rustling and things like that. And it kind of woke me up. I didn't really think anything of it. It was kind of still and quiet. But then all of a sudden, like all these like high school guys come running into our cabin and just their boxers. I'm like, what the heck are you guys doing? And they're like, nothing. We're going back to bed. I'm like, clearly. Okay. And again, I'm the new guy. I'm like, and so then like later on, I don't know if it's like that night or the next morning, they're like, oh, it's the boxer run. I'm like, the boxer run. I'm like, what do you mean the boxer run? Like that should not be a thing. And they said, well, it's a tradition that they've had at like this youth group that, at the winter camp, the high school guys will strip down to their boxers and run out in the cold and basically like a polar plunge, but a polar run, and their boxers run around the cabin at night. I'm like, okay, let's not do that anymore. Let's keep our clothes on and stay inside,
But you would have definitely done something like that.
No comment. And so
we all know it.
So anyway, the next year it comes around and the first night I'm like, hey guys, no boxer run. Let's kill that tradition. Let's keep our clothes on, stay indoors. Well,
keep your clothes on and stay indoors.
You think these are normal rules,
you gotta
right?
make a sign that says that.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, they proceed to go ahead and do it anyway. And I'm like, guys, come on, and like,
have some decency.
Right. Yeah. You pass him like, listen to me, come on, stop doing this stupid stuff, and so anyway,
this is really funny coming from Uncle Tim.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do
the stupid stuff.
Life turn around when you become an adult.
Exactly.
So sad.
Become responsible for other people's kids. And so year 3, same church. And I'm like, all right, guys, look, I'm telling you, this tradition is dead. No more box around. They're like, oh, okay, we won't do it. I'm like, God, trust me, you don't want to do it. And they're like, so now it's like, all right, they're not listening to me. So now I need to teach them, and so how do we get them to learn the lesson that we're not going to do this anymore? And so they end up, going out. I hear them wake up. I'm laying in my bed, hear them all, open the door, run out, they leave. So as they leave to go do their boxer run, I get up and I lock the door. And think, all right, well, if you guys want to be outside in your boxers, let's go ahead and like teach you that you shouldn't be outside in the cold in your boxers. Sure. And so lock the door. They come running back and like pulling on the door, bang on it, and I'm not letting them in. There were a couple of students that stayed back this year. They actually listened. Like, all right, I'm not going to do this here. The good kids.
Good.
Yeah.
The good youths.
The good youths. So they don't let them in either. So the pulling on the door and everything stops. So I get up and I unlock the door. So I'm like, I'm not going to be obviously have these
cruel.
Kids,
well,
cruel.
I
don't need frostbite and also I'm getting sued and fired. Right.
Yeah.
I got to have some type of limit. So anyway, I unlock the door. And they, not thinking they got in, they start going into survival mode. Like, what do we do? We're stuck outside. We have no clothes on. So they go and they bang on the girls' dorm.
How cold was it?
Oh, I mean, there's snow all over. It's below freezing. It's probably teens, 20 degrees. Okay. Normal Michigan, up north weather type thing. And so they go and they knock on the window. The girls, I'm like, what do you, so they start throwing them like sweatshirts and sweatpants through the window to try and get them some clothing. So they get some clothing and get that on. And then they, instead of coming back to the guys' cabin, they decide to break into the trailer that we used to haul the luggage up.
Did they break the locks off the trailer?
They might have found a key. I don't know. Maybe the keys were off because they're empty at that point. Okay. So they get in the trailer and then proceed to huddle together to use body warmth. So they're now wearing a bunch of girls' sweatpants and sweatshirts that are too small for them, huddling together in this trailer. And eventually I think they finally come back in and go to bed. And they're all mad at one of their friends for not letting them in. Like, why didn't you let us in? And they're like, what? They're like, I was sleeping. They're like, no, you weren't. You were awake. You knew we were out there. They're like, no, I was asleep. And they were like yelling at him, even though they knew I was the one who locked it. They start yelling at him. So like the next day, like they're going to breakfast wearing the same clothing and like in the sweatshirts and it's like, and I didn't realize it till the next morning, I'm like, why are you guys wearing a bunch of girls' clothing? And it wasn't like major like girls' clothing. I said, sweatpants, sweatshirts, type thing.
Just
clearly
too small.
Just too small.
Like crop top.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, guys, this is what we left. And so then they had to obviously return it to but they, that was the last year they did the boxer run. They learned their lesson. They learned that, okay, Tim doesn't just tell us what to do. He's actually going to
Lock you out of your
which again,
your
it was for
cabin.
2 minutes. All right. I go on record. I only had it locked for 2 minutes, which would not cause any severe damage. They then decided to do their own thing. Then I also had to deal with the other youth pastors, who in their commotion woke up other camps. And so then I had other like youth leaders and other churches, because it's like that whole youth camp, multiple churches coming in and getting after me about why do I have my campers running around outside and just their pastors. And I'm like, trust me, it's not going to happen again.
It was a lesson. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. So
They've learned.
so winter camps, lots of stories there. Again, this is a Calvary one. We is at Spring Hill. And I don't know if they still did mascots when you guys were in youth there.
We brought it back. Remember?
Did they bring
We
back
had
mascots?
the fox named Beaver.
Oh, yeah. So even going with different names. So anyway, the way that got started was we were meeting in different rooms like this. So they have the speaker and then you go and you break into different rooms and small groups. And the room that we're in was like the taxidermy room for some reason.
That's a scary room to be in.
And they had a beaver.
Was that a church?
Is at Spring Hill. So it's like a camp up in Everett, Michigan.
And they had a taxidermy room?
Yeah, they had a room with stuffed animals, right? Wall mounts like deer heads, things like that. And they had one that was a beaver that was full body, head to tail, mounted on like this board.
Sure.
And it's probably like 3 feet long. They get big.
Beavers are large.
Yeah. So anyway, they have a whole like broom ball tournament there. So in our mind, we're meeting in this room, we're joking about that. Now this is our mascot. Right. And so we gave it a name and, this is our mascot. Well, at the broom ball tournament, me, and I think it might've been Phil. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody else.
Phil was our youth pastor. Dylan and I's youth pastor.
Yes. I think it was that we went back to that room and he and I grabbed this beaver and start carrying it over our heads because that big, it took 2 people to carry it. We're carrying over our heads and we're chanting, and whatever our team name was, and we're chanting, and all of a sudden like this Spring Hill worker looks and like his jaw drops, like, what are you doing? You can't mess with this. So he comes in and like grabs it right away and like, nope, and puts away and like hid all this stuff from us. And we're like, what the heck? That's our mascot.
You put us in this room.
Right. So then
it's ours now.
Yep. So then that's when like the next year, then we brought a dog. And then the next
Not
year,
a taxidermized dog.
it was like a stuffed animal dog. And I'm totally blanking on what we called the dog.
Cat.
No, it was another animal. And so like, I remember like the next year we have this stuffed dog that we're calling, whatever, Bear,
Yeah.
I'm sure like Mark Butler and Phil and Woodman and those guys, Jason Shin, they're all going to be like, how could you not remember that? So I apologize. I'm blanking on this. That's probably the closed head injuries I've had over the years. And so anyway, I remember that we're sitting there and we're chanting like the, bear, 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 whatever it is. And all of a sudden, like a youth pastor from another room, he's like, it's not a bear, it's a dog. And we're like, what? Like he's like raining down on these middle school parade, things like that. And Jason Shin sounds back like, they're kids, be a sport, And so like there's like this taunting amongst youth pastors. That was amazing. The next year, we did is a frog, and his name was Updog. And if you don't know the joke, you can go around and just like kind of like sniffing. Man, you smell like Updog.
What's up, dog?
Not much. What's up with you? And
he got you.
Yep. Got him. And so that was the next year. That was our joke. And so that was fun because then you had Updog the frog.
Updog the frog.
Updog the frog. So anyway, we'd have a mask every year, and it drove other youth groups crazy.
Yeah, ours didn't have the same effect when we did it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what we did.
We had a stuffed fox that we named like Beaver or something, or Goose. I can't remember what it was, but we didn't have anything. We didn't taunt. No. Wait, I retract
We had the
that.
flag.
We had the flag.
We had the flag.
You want to hear our youth group stories.
Okay. Yeah.
So Helms Deep again.
Uh-huh.
This one year.
We're in Ohio.
We're in
now.
Ohio.
So it's like a lot downgraded because of Ohio.
Yeah.
Is this at Kenyon College?
No, this was at
No.
Tiffin.
Tiffin.
Oh, okay.
So this
I
one,
never made it to Kenyon.
Okay.
You did
no,
once.
I didn't know. I was
No,
Denison.
Denison.
But so this was
I never did that
at
one.
so this was at Tiffin, and this one kid. No, this was Denison. You were there at Denison for one. No, it was Tiffin.
No, I never had Denison.
Okay, Tiffin. Let's go with that.
If it was with me, it was at Tiffin.
Yeah, you were there. You remember this, right?
But maybe. Go for it.
Tell the story.
Oh,
now.
wait,
Let's
I
go.
can't remember.
I don't know.
I can't remember if you were there or not.
Sorry.
Just go
Okay.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so this one kid, he brought the hammer and sickle, the communist flag.
No.
So this one kid brought it. He was from
Yeah.
another church. He brought the communist
It's
flag.
from your church? Or?
No.
No.
Okay.
Another church. This kid from another church brought the communist flag.
Was it the New Jersey church?
It was, I think it was the New Jersey church, but
Yeah,
this
it would
one
be.
kid brought the communist flag. And so us, like, we do a Walmart run every year. So
The leaders before were you kids or
We
were
were
you leaders?
students, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the students, we all went on
Like the first day. Like the first day you like
we did
move
like,
in.
I think it was like a Tuesday. We did a Walmart run. So we
Yeah.
are sitting in our dorm and we're like, that communist flag's stupid. We're going to tear it down. We're going to get rid of the communist flag. So we advised, we were like, we're going to go, when we go to Walmart, we're going to go buy an American flag. So you go, and we buy this American flag. And we buy like the flag pole, like an actual flag pole, one that you stick in front of your house. We bought that. And so then he's going on about communism. We're going on about being American. And so we're like having this but his communist flag, I'm pretty sure he took a stick, like a literal like tree stick, and put it on a tree stick. So he didn't have like a pole or anything. And so it comes battle hums deep. We march on the battlefield. And I just remember this guy, he strikes this epic pose with the communist flag, and then we're like there with the American flag. We're like, you're going down. Like we're like
Yeah, this is like
Ready to-
1984 all
Yeah.
over again.
It's
well,
really
it's like Rocky IV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so
I will break you.
yes. So I just remember this. We go on the battlefield, and Helm's Deep starts, and we're going hard like we always do. One of our friends, his name's Quinn. He proceeds to find the communist flag kid and full on sack him, take his flag, and I don't remember what he did with the flag, but I'm pretty sure he was a black belt who got kicked out of karate.
That says anything about
Cobra Kai.
Quinn.
Yeah.
If that says
So-
anything about Quinn, that's what it would be.
Yeah. So he absolutely destroys this kid I think he actually made the guy cry.
Uh-huh.
He might
And,
have.
and
yeah.
we were all like, good job, Quinn.
Typical
We're on board.
communist.
We're on board with it because we're like, no,
Take down
commie.
the commie.
Take
Yeah.
down the commie. And I remember before leading up to that, we were like, they were holding out the window of their dorm, taunting us. And we were like throwing pine cones up at them. And we were like, America, and waving our flag.
Yeah.
And because we had courtyards. And so we were just,
It was like a quad of dorms.
Yeah.
So it was like 4 dorms. You could all see each other.
yeah.
This seems
It was
much
intense.
more serious than I don't know, so my taunting of other youth ministries. So going to a winter camp again was, we did something is called circling, where there'd be about 12 of us, from our church, that we would just pinpoint some random person somewhere. And we would be like, all right, we're going to go, that's our target. And we would just start on walking in a circle around them pretty far out, and being spaced out, and then start slowly just going, as the circle starts closing in more and more, and then we're going around and then starting to clapping. So we're starting and slowly getting louder and louder to where now you have 12 people just running in a circle, or marching in a circle around and going, and just getting as loud. And then all of a sudden, at the climax, and then go quiet and then just walk randomly away. And the person is left there what the heck just happened to me? Who are these people? And then we just go away, and it would be at random.
How long did it last? Was it like a 10-second thing? Did you make it fast? Or was it 2 minutes?
No, it's probably like a 20 to 30 second thing, so it happened pretty quickly
it
from
didn't, it didn't set into their head what was going on. It was
is enough to where there's build, so it wasn't just too quick, but not so long to where it just dragged out to where it's all of a sudden dispersing. They're like, what is going on? And so that was, a little bit, I guess, would be less serious and political.
We don't know why this kid showed up with a communist flag.
No idea.
We don't know why he did. We just knew we didn't like
Was
it.
Connor also there with his Free the Chicken outfit that year?
No,
or
that came after.
Oh, that was after Connor.
No. The Free the Chicken or Fear the Chicken
Fear the Chicken
was the year after the communist guy.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because then the year after, we all came in costumes.
Oh, okay.
We brought morph suits, and
Yes.
one of our guys, he dressed as this superhero he made called Velvet Thunder for the chicken, and he wore like a Captain America suit, but
Okay.
it had rubber chickens like
Nice.
up here, and he had a shield and everything.
This kind of sounds epic.
Yeah, and so then
That's pretty cool.
like we took Helm's Deep to like another level
Yeah.
where we like costumes and all that kind of stuff. And then the year after that, one of the guys did an American flag morph suit.
Okay.
I wore.
Well, somewhere in there, the cavalry flag came in too.
Yeah, Cavalry Flag was the year Fear the
Yes.
Velvet Thunder came about.
Yes.
But the year after that, so we had the Velvet Thunder again, American flag morph suit this time instead of purple morph suit. I took a pair of jeans made really cut off jorts,
Very cut off.
very cut off jorts.
Very cut
I'm sorry
off.
for
And then-
everybody who had to witness that.
And then I wore a shirt with one of my friends' faces on it that said "Man, Myth, Legend."
Okay.
And then I had a mustache because
Okay.
I could do that as a junior.
Okay.
And I wore a kid's what do you call it? Cape.
Okay.
And then like the Harlem Globetrotter, like red, white, and blue band,
Mhm.
like sweatbands,
Okay. That's fun.
and charged into battle that way.
There might be pictures out there. One of the old Helm's Deep, they had caution tape to like section off different areas.
So we used caution tape for,
Yeah.
we put like soccer goals together to make jail.
So somebody got a hold of that and decided, there was me and one other person. They decided to give as like extra targets to where we just run around and like we were like bonus points or something like that.
We had
Yeah.
medics, I think is what we called ours.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been it might have been where it was. They're like medics, but
And they covered themselves in caution tape.
yes. Yeah, I think that started with me.
Yeah.
So I was
A lot of good things
Impressive.
start with Uncle
However,
Tim.
it started as far as just wearing a swimsuit and no shirt. It gives Battle of Helm's Deep, and it's probably Dave Kurt and Ken Buck who then took
Oh,
that
gosh.
and put it on tight and wrapped, and so it was like a saddle and wrapped around in a headband, and they picked guys who were faster.
Mhm.
So like nobody. So literally, had like streamers of caution tape flying behind me with a random weird caution tape wrapped all around me. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
funny.
So they're still doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That we
that's-
know. I mean, that
That's
I
like
know.
20 years ago.
I think Helm's Deep is still a thing, I believe.
Good for them. Hey, good things last.
It does. Yeah. I remember my first year at Velocity, they didn't have it. And then we brought it back.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad they brought it back because it was fun.
Yeah. Youth ministry. It's fun.
Youth ministry
Sounds-
is very fun.
A lot of crazy things. Yeah. Got numerous stories. So maybe the next time I'm on, I can just
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you crazy youth faster stories.
Yes. We're definitely not ripping off another podcast.
No.
With-
No.
Not at all.
That'd be weird.
Oh, yeah. No, I've
Yeah.
heard of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they just read stories.
They do.
But, yeah.
Right.
They have some crazy ones, but they don't have
some
a
crazy.
lot.
Yeah. I could probably give them a lot of content.
You could.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You have like a whole season of your own, basically.
yeah, probably.
Yes.
Never lost a kid
That's good.
for too long.
For too long.
The necessary comment.
On a completely other note, we share a few funny news stories.
Okay.
I want to do at least one
Okay.
before
Go ahead.
we wrap up here.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll do that and then wrap up. We're already at like an hour 10.
Yeah. So I found this
Sorry,
one.
I talk too much.
It's fine.
No, it's great.
It's good content. So I found this one on Instagram. I'll read the headline. Florida woman arrested for aggravated battery with a Pringles can.
I can't imagine how that happens, honestly.
Like what
I don't
was
know
the
how.
build up to I mean I can read it, but it's more fun to speculate of like I think she was just sitting eating Pringles one day and then somebody pissed her off and she's like, I'm gonna
But she had
beat you.
nothing better than a Pringles can. I don't understand.
Oh,
I mean,
wait, she was at a 7-Eleven?
maybe somebody cut in line in front of her. She's standing there. She got her Pringles. She'd been craving them, right? So let's say that she had been traveling overseas just got back.
She
and her
definitely does
favorite,
not look like an
and her
overseas
favorites.
traveler.
Yes, for speculation.
Well, yeah, let's speculate, and then I'll read the actual story.
Okay. All right. So
I like doing that. Let's do it this way.
Yeah.
All right, so,
keep going.
so speculating. So she's overseas traveler,
I won't
but
show you what she looks like.
Pringles are her favorite snack, and so she's looking forward to getting back to the U.S. where she can get Pringles again.
So those
And so,
Pringles.
so she is on her drive home from the airport
Sure.
and decides to swing into 7-Eleven. I'm
It is
going to get my
Orlando, so
Pringles.
there's an airport there. That's
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Decides I'm going to get some Pringles.
Mm-hmm.
Picks them. She can't wait. And all of a sudden she's getting in line. There's these like 3 teenagers who just got back from their winter retreat, or no, they're driving back from their summer camp. Right. So they're on
Okay.
their road trip. So a bus pulls in with 60, just hellion, 6th, 7th and 8th graders.
In a 7-Eleven.
And the 7-Eleven that,
Sure.
well, there's a gas station right there. And, so they're
It's the
go
7-Eleven
get your
gas
snacks.
station.
Yes.
The combo.
The combo. And so they come in, they take over the place and end up getting in her way. They cause her to, and eventually she's just like, you know what? All I've been wanting and craving for the past 10 days are my Pringles. Get out of my way. I want to pay for the Pringles. And the kid starts like chanting up dog the frog. And so she takes the Pringles and smacks that frog in the face with the Pringle cans. And the youth pastor and youth leaders are all like, you can't do that. And they go to try to protect the kid. She goes, get this dog out of my face. And they're like, it's a frog. And so then she starts hitting them with the Pringle can.
What kind of Pringles?
Barbecue.
Those are the
Okay.
best ones.
Yeah, because they're spicy. That's what, I got a little too spicy there.
Okay.
So there you go.
Here, I got this story.
Yes. Go ahead.
So, Orange County Deputy Adams said he responded to a physical fight at the 7-Eleven gas station on International Drive in Orlando. I arrived at the 7-Eleven and eventually made contact with the victim, who was later identified by his Florida driver's license. While speaking with, it's a news article. While speaking with Martin, I observed Martin had a significant cut on his right eyebrow and below his eye, causing him to bleed. A male customer got hit in the head by a can of Pringles. All the guy was doing was informing me of another male customer that was lying down on the side of the building. The employee wrote in her statement, Serdal was located at the south of the 7-Eleven by Orange County deputies and was detained. So what? It doesn't even tell me what happened. He just
What?
got hit with a Pringles can.
It was a run by fruiting.
Pringles can was found with
disappointing.
Serdal when she was located and arrested. She's now facing aggravated battery, according to the deputies.
So she chucked the Pringle can at somebody for no reason.
That's what it sounds like. But I mean, that's what she looks like.
So she didn't even want them. Oh, no.
She could be a world traveler.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about mugshots.
Yeah,
They're never the most flattering.
no. I mean, it's one of your lowest moments, so it's not like
I mean,
you're like,
she just wanted her Pringles. Okay.
All right, so are there comments like on this? Like, are people able to comment as to what story is better, my story or the real story?
Well, I mean, yeah, we can have that be like we have comments on Spotify.
Yeah, you can comments. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm just
we can also
curious.
make a poll.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can make a poll who had the better story.
Okay.
Yeah, I think senselessly beating Up Dog the Frog is a way better story. With a Pringles can and then youth pastor getting involved.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's way better than just randomly yeeting a Pringles can. Do people still say yeet these days? I'm going to say yeet.
I think it's still applicable.
Okay, yeeting a Pringles can at somebody just for no reason.
For no reason.
But like, I don't know what I want to know. In her mind, what was?
Maybe you said there's a guy laying on the ground, right?
Well,
and there's
it
another
seemed
guy. So
like-
maybe she thought that the guy who was standing was assaulting the guy on the ground and she was coming to his aid. And so she chucked the Pringles can. I'm like, get away from him.
That
Maybe
could
she's
be.
a hero.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a
Plot
turn of
twist.
events. Plot
Ooh.
twist. Pringles lady's a hero.
Let's see if we can do a follow up later.
We'll have the
Find
Pringles,
out more about this lady.
we'll have the Pringles lady on the podcast. Like,
Oh.
are you a hero or a really terrible villain?
What would have been better is if, like, in her mugshot, she had the mascot for the Pringles.
Oh, she had the
you know,
duck lips.
Yeah, if she had the Pringles.
Oh, the mustache?
That would have been priceless.
Oh, she did the Pringles like duck mouth.
Oh no, I was talking about the mustache of the thing of,
Or
of the
both,
mascot,
Both.
the logo. I guess
yeah,
the logo.
she could have it tattooed. Tattoo of the Pringles guy.
She's in the Pringles gang.
Instead of a teardrop, it's a Pringles logo.
Okay, wait. I found another story about it.
Oh,
It was like a 2-second story. What?
what did he find?
I don't know. It doesn't say why.
It
It just says that the female called the guy a bad name and
Oh.
whacked him with the Pringles.
she whacked. So she didn't throw it.
No, it was a whack. Yeah, apparently.
So like, did you just pick up a Pringles can and like baseball bat Pringles can to the face?
Allegedly, yeah.
Like, could you imagine just
Innocent until proven guilty, allegedly.
you walk in, you're on your way home from where you're going to work. You walk into a 7-Eleven and you're like gonna go like get a Mountain Dew from the fridge. And then the next thing you walk in and you see this lady with a Pringles can, baseball bat a guy in the face. And I would just turn around and walk right back to my car.
No, I'm good.
I would
I'm
just be
good.
like,
I don't
good.
need it that bad. I don't need it that bad.
Weapon of choice. Pringles can.
She would not make it long in a zombie apocalypse.
No.
No. But I mean, to be fair, that kind of damage to the Pringles can is impressive.
to make
maybe
a guy
she would.
bleed. I mean,
Make a
Pringles
guy bleed
cans
with a
are like
can.
aluminum, like the
Yeah.
bottom of them.
That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, if you hit them with that, it's gonna hurt. Maybe it was the like extra long one. Like, you know, they have like the larger ones.
Yeah.
Like for but number one, who's buying that Pringles can for a party? Like who shows up to a party
With the Pringles
with the
can.
extra long Pringles can? Like,
I don't think I've ever seen it. Like, I mean, I've seen the can. I'm saying I've never seen somebody show up to a party.
but I was trying
And
to,
their choice of food that they chose to bring was the
Pringles.
extra large Pringles can.
but I'm just like envisioning like you have a bag of chips, all right, where you like dump it on your plate. Like, are people like shoving their whole arm into the Pringles can to get Pringles at like your Super Bowl party?
Yes.
The next thing you know, one guy's going, I can't get it off.
I think there's a commercial about
Where-
that where somebody gets their hand stuck in the Pringles can.
But like, the guy who's doing that, his name's probably like Tom, and he just shows up to your Super Bowl party with.
Wait. Okay.
You found more?
This article has more details that could be accurate.
It's on the
So-
internet. It's on the internet. You can believe it, right?
If I'm reading this correctly, I think that the guy laying outside was her man.
Oh,
And the guy that came inside to tell the cashier about it was like being rude about it, basically, and saying that he was something. I don't know, assuming things about the guy outside. And so she was defending her man by calling him a bad name and then whacking him with Pringles.
interesting.
So she felt like her man was being disrespected.
Yes.
So she came to her man's aid
With
Yes.
the Pringles can.
with the Pringles can.
Yes.
That's true love.
Love.
Yeah. I think that's written down somewhere.
I'm going to start carrying a Pringles can in my car.
Yeah, really. Who knew?
You walk into like a Walmart with a Pringles can in your back pocket.
Element of surprise. Like if you walk up on
Element of
somebody,
surprise, Pringles can.
if you walk up on somebody, they're not going to be like worried.
Oh, yeah, Pringles.
I mean,
Okay,
you got
cool.
element of crosses.
Exactly.
Uncle Tim goes like crosses the border to Canada. They have to search his car. Sir, are you armed? I have a Pringles can.
Well, you said no because you're not, obviously.
That's
And
how
then you get through.
Yeah, but
Now we're onto it.
You're into Canada with a Pringles can. You're armed and dangerous.
I mean, I guess that would make me like a arms dealer,
Yeah.
or trafficker.
you show up. They think you're going to come with illegal weapons. You're like, opens the trunk and it's just Pringles cans.
What are these for, sir? Nothing. I'm very hungry.
For the safety of 7-Elevens all
For the
across the
munchies.
nation.
For the munchies.
He's now the new mascot for Pringles. He's a superhero. He just shows up places and hits people in the face like with a baseball bat style with Pringles.
That makes me think of the Michael Tate commercials, the officer linebacker. The
Michael
office line.
Tate.
Not my, is it?
That's the Newsboys.
That's
guy.
Newsboys. Yeah.
DC
What's
Talk.
it? No, what's the
Wait
name?
a minute.
Office linebacker. Anyway, he just makes me think of
Oh,
that.
I
Like
think I know
randomly hitting
yeah.
people.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I did a video as a youth pastor one time, imitating them, going around and tackling people randomly.
Hmm.
There
You did a lot of funny videos too.
Yeah.
Aren't you a rejected leprechaun?
A rejected leprechaun?
Yeah.
I don't
You were
think
telling me
so.
last night how you were a rejected leprechaun.
I think I was making a story up. I'm not a rejected leprechaun. we were talking about like, I don't know. We were joking around about something.
Yes, and then you
and
just-
said that, oh, we'll just say that I'm a rejected leprechaun because I grew up and got too big. And so they shipped me off to the North Pole to be an elf.
Sure.
I think it was some random. Yeah. I don't think that
So Uncle Tim's a rejected leprechaun.
apparently.
Yeah. Who beats
Good to know.
people with Pringles cans
Yeah.
or can.
Allegedly.
He hasn't. yet.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I think that's some off the wall comment. I don't remember where that came from.
I don't either. I just wanted
You
to bring
just
it
remember.
up.
Yeah. Thank
I
you.
just, yeah,
Well, this is a podcast about nothing.
it is. And
That
everything.
is the point. All at once.
Yep. That's our slogan.
I think it is. Yeah.
What's the slogan again?
We're a podcast about nothing and everything all at once.
Okay. Well, I think you guys are accomplishing that.
I know. We do
We are.
pretty well.
Yeah. I feel honored to be a part of this. Thank you guys.
You're
So
welcome.
This is
Yeah.
We're
fun.
glad to have
It
you.
was fun. I'm glad. I was thinking about guests and I'm like, I want Uncle Tim on.
Aw.
And it happened sooner than I thought it was.
It was
I
fast.
thought I was going to have to wait till like July when you're like up for 4th of July.
It only took your grandma ending up in the hospital to get me into town. Huh?
Yeah. Thanks, Grandma.
if any,
you listen
if
to
any
this.
good has come from this,
Oh, I hope Grandma listens to this. Thanks, Grandma.
Shout out to my grandma.
it was for nothing. It wasn't for nothing.
You brought us a guest.
Awesome.
Oh,
All
Yeah,
right.
but you tried to.
Well, it's been great.
It has been great.
It's also Be Real.
Oh, Be Real
Let's
time.
go.
That means Uncle Tim's going to be in the Be Real.
Yes.
what is? Oh,
You know
is it
our app.
yeah, the app.
You
Who
do
am I-
yours first, and
am I
then
looking
now
at?
you look at me. Beautiful.
All right.
It's a great photo.
That's a great ending also.
Yeah, great ending.
Be real.
Remember to do your B reels. And
Be Real.
and
Dude, I'm mad. Yesterday, it didn't work for me.
that's so sad.
I was like 2 hours late. I opened the app on time and it was like, sorry, we don't have access to your camera. And I was like, what do you mean? I've used that for like 2 years. And they're like, I don't know. That seems weird. Yeah, I'm not kidding. And then it was like
Denied.
open settings to change your settings. And I was like, that's not a setting. I got really mad about it. I was late for it.
You are so you are.
So I checked the pink
It
Pringles
just
can
said
at someone.
enable camera. And I was like,
Oh, you screenshotted it?
yeah, it's
That's
enabled.
funny.
And like
It
later,
did not want you to do Be Real.
no, I was really mad.
Well,
So later,
you
like,
should
restarted my
talk-
phone and tried again, and it was fine. I was
Oh,
like, wow,
You should talk to Mr. Be Real.
I really want to. I have a lot of concerns.
I do too. But on that note, remember, always shoot
video
horizontally.
Yes.
Huh?
Always remember to shoot video horizontally.
Okay.
Don't shoot vertical.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how we end our podcast. So do you want to we can do a 3, 2, 1 and we all say it?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Remember to
Always
always
shoot your
video
not
horizontal.
horizontally.
No, horizontally.
Don't shoot it vertically.
Don't shoot it vertically.
Don't shoot it.
All right. So
Side to side is
I,
good.
I think we got to do that again. All right.
Wait,
So
what are we going to say? Are we saying always
shoot your
hor-
video horizontally.
Always shoot your video horizontally.
Okay.
Okay.
3.
3, 2, 1.
Always shoot your video horizontally.
Hey, good job, guys. Let's
Nailed
go.
Nailed it.